Today, have evolved from simple communication device to a gadget that can be do everything, whatever it be ordering food or booking cab service, all done on the back of a mobile application. So, in this session, basically we try to enhance or explore the how we test mobile application with the help of Appium. So, good evening, everyone. Welcome to here. I am Rahul Kumar from Test Automation Studio, presenting a knowledge based on Appium server. So, without any delay, let's start with knowledge etiquettes. First is punctuality. Punctuality. Respect knowledge timing. You are requested to not join session after 5 minutes. Make sure to submit a constructive feedback for all session, which is helpful to us. Next, keep your mobile device in silent mode and feel 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 free to take an urgent call if you have. Last is avoid unwanted chit chat during session. Moving to the next one. Let's move toward the today knowledge agenda. The first topic that we are going to hit and learn more about is what is mobile testing. Under this section, we all discuss about how mobile application testing is different from web application testing and why it is important for us. Then we move toward the second point. It is what is APM. In this, we all know about the APM and also get the brief introduction of APM. Then we move to next one. The Appium architecture. In this section, I will try to explore and explain about the Appium architecture with the help of Appium diagram. Moving to the fourth one, which is element of Appium. In this section, basically we will learn about how one element of Appium communicate to the other element during the mobile testing. At the last, we have a live demo in which we have performed basically three tasks on the basis of basically we does not make a complex this session. So I take a quick start on the basis of that. We perform three tasks. But first is we set up the session in the between emulator or APM server. Then we perform second task is install a mobile APK file with the help of APM inspector and APM server in an emulator device, which is a virtual device also. At the last, we have tried to automate a phone dialer application of emulator device with some possible assertion with the help of an IntelliJ ID. So moving to the next slide. What is mobile testing? Mobile testing is a process in which tester test the mobile application for functionality, usability, and security. As you already know, we can perform testing by two approaches. First one is automation or manual. Basically, in the mobile testing, we can test the mobile application related things. That's why it is also known as mobile testing, mobile application testing. Tester, in which tester verify the quality of application based on before released into the marketplace, also commonly known as App Store. This App Store is also known as different names on the behalf of different operating system application like Play Store for Androids, and while iOS device, it is all simply known as App Store. There are three type of testing generally we perform in mobile device. Let's explore one by one. First one is functional. The purpose of this type of testing is that to test the basic functionality of the application is working as expected or not. Moving to the second one is non-functional. It is also play an important role in mobile testing, in which the tester or test or verify the usability, security, and some extra things. At the last, we have a real environment. In this section, basically test or verify the real environment condition, which includes network issues and interruptions like calls or messages which affect the application performance or sometimes the basic functionality of the application. So moving to the next slides. How mobile application testing different from web application testing? Mobile applications are specifically designed for smartphones and also for specific operating system like Androids and iOS. So we need to download and install directly to the system for their use. Basically, developers use Java, Swift, and other type of technology for their development for mobile application. Whereas web application are the software application that resides on the server and can be accessed through web browser. So basically, we does not need to download and install into the system. Basically, and web application also does not depend on the OS of the system. but it required some stable internet connection for their use. So moving to the third one, testing of mobile application require more queue efforts and resources because mobile applications have more functionality in comparison of web application like its OS dependency, and mobile applications also have a landscape as well as portrait mode. That thing make mobile application testing more complex. So it required more queue efforts and QA resources. So moving to the next one, why mobile application testing is important and why we use it. So basically mobile application testing is growing day by day because everyone in this world carrying start mobile phone, and even the children's also with a part of it, and mobile devices become the important part of our day-to-day life. So due to increasing the demand of mobile phones, it also increases the demand of a mobile application, and to provide bug free and best quality application to our user. So the importance of mobile testing. Moving to the second one, mobile application become the first choice of conducting business because mobile device provide in bulk of target audience in one platform. There are multiple new business that can operate and sustain on the basis of mobile application like WhatsApp, Snapchat, and Facebook. And mobile application also have wallet or even a bank in a single mobile, in which person can share or receive money on the behalf of that. That this type of application require more privacy and security. So this the testing is important for here for this purpose. Mobile application can be divided into three categories. First is native application, and then web mobile application and hybrid. So let's explore one by one. So start with native application. It is a type of mobile application which is OS dependent and need to download and install from the application store to the system directly. Basically, mostly native application take the full advantage of a mobile device, like it having access of the cameras and other sensor also. So basically offline games are the best example and not the native application. So moving to the second one, which is web application. It is a type of mobile application also which can access through mobile browser, and developer use HTML, CSS, JavaScript type of technology for their creation. Basically web application needs proper stable connection for their use, and online converter type of the application are the best example which denotes the web mobile application which we use generally in day-to-day life. Moving to the third one, which is hybrid. Hybrid is a type of mobile application which is basically a combination of advantage of native and web application. So it having some more and advanced functionality in comparison to both. It also use stable internet connection, and some features are also available in offline mode. So basically, we have multiple hybrid application which we use in our daily life. Like we have best example which we use for the shopping purpose, Amazon, in which the user used to for shopping, and also some other functionality are available in this mobile application. So it is a type of hybrid application because it uses both web and native application functionality. So moving to the next slide, mobile test automation. Let's see why we choose Appium over the other tool level available in the market. Basically, every tester face this type of problem in beginning of project because there are multiple automation framework available in the market, in which some are paid and some are open source or freely available in to the user. Then we choose or select automation tool on the basis of our project requirements and also availability of the and functionality of the automation tool. So I choose three most famous automation framework for the mobile testing. Let's explore one by one. First one is Expresso framework. It is an open source mobile automation framework which is used or capable to automate Android application. Basically, but it is only restricted to the Android one only. So we does not continue for that one. So moving to the next one, we have XUI test framework, which is also an open source mobile automation framework, and it is capable to automate and verify the iOS based application. But it also restricted to the iOS one, iOS device one. So we does not conclude and continue with that. That we have a third one, and which is most famous APM framework, which is it is on open source mobile automation framework that uh, it is capable to automate and Android as well as iOS related applications. So basically, it is an open source and as well as platforming framework. So even in the latest version of the Appium, also it made the desktop application of the Windows. So basically, not the web mobile application. It also even it is having the performance to test the window desktop application. So due to these points, we continue with the Appium framework. In the next slide, we explore more about the Appium framework. So moving to the next one, what is Appium? Appium is developed by Dan Keller in 2011 using the C# programming language initially and named as iOS Auto. Appium. Appium started as a command line based structured tool initially. After that, in second, Appium is an open source, means freely available, but it became open source in 2012 using Apache 2 license. And Appium is a truly cross-platforming tool, means Appium test scripts can be run on both Android as well as iOS operating system without some minute modification, basically. And third one, in 2003, Source Labs ready to fund Appium's development and rewrite using Node.js. So Appium is developed and maintained by Source Lab, and currently Appium version 1.2.2 is being distributed that can be installed using Node.js, and their latest release name as an Appium Desktop. So Appium Desktop comes with a very instructive application element inspector, which help you to inspect element of your application is more much efficient manner. Now the fourth one, Appium is also capable to test and automate native, hybrid as well as web application. As you also know, it also capable to test the desktop application of the window. But as of now, we continue on that only for the mobile application. So that was the very generous and very brief introduction of Appium. So moving to the next one. So elements of Appium. We move to the elements of Appium in this. Basically, we explore how one element of Appium interact with another element of Appium, and also get some basic introduction about and try to understand the functionality of Appium element one by one. And so let's explore one by one. First, we have Appium server. It is a Node.js application which have 4723 powered by default. Basically, we have two available options by which first one is terminal based and second one is GUI based. And in GUI based, it's also known as Appium Desktop. And then you also know the Appium Desktop is the latest version with the 1.2.2 version of Appium Desktop. So moving to the third one is second one is Appium Inspector. It is an important tool by which we can locate and capture the mobile element in the. It is also capable to record the test case and convert into the test script. So it is a best for Appium server, which was which it with the help of Appium inspector we can inspect the element, which will help in to writing the script of mobile automation. So moving to the third one, which is mobile devices. Basically, mobile devices also take as a client in a Appium architecture, which by which we perform the testing. Basically, we have two available options by which we can continue our testing. First one is real devices or virtual devices. Real devices are having Android as well as iOS operating system, but in virtual devices, we only have emulator with a different version of application. So when we use emulator, we can change the Android version as continuously. But when we use a real device, which only having a only one Android version at a time. So because the purpose of this, we use the emulator today for our testing. So moving to the fourth one, which is integrated development environment, which also known as IDE. Appium needs an idea for writing a test script where the tester write our scripts and set up the Appium environment with the help of our some dependency which are available on the Maven repository, which simply name as Appium client or Selenium and some other. Basically, for this in this knowledge, we continue with the IntelliJ as a IDE. So moving to the next one, next slide. Appium architects. Basically, in this we discuss how does Appium work. Appium supports client server architecture. That means there is one server which having port 42723 by default, and also having a client According to the APM diagram, APM architecture diagram, we have three things in the diagram which are connected with double-sided arrows, as you see, and means that some requests are passed to the server in the form of HTTP request, and after some process, it return back to the client as a response. So let's understand three architecture design. So in the diagram one by one. So let's explore one by one. First is test running machine. It is a computer which having our test scripts, and the purpose of test running machine is to run the test scripts and link the device or APM server with the help of JSON wire, which is also known as desired capability. Second one is APM server. Basically, APM server use UI automator APIs to interact with UI component of application. So under the test and client library convert the user written commands into REST APIs request. This request sent to the APM server using the JSON wire protocol. So at the last we have and target device in which we perform testing, and it behave like a client in APM architecture. Basically, it is also known as end device, in which we basically use iOS, Android, and emulator for now. And the automation script are executed in the end device by the help of APM server. So that's all about the APM architecture. Moving to the session in APM. Basically, as we already discussed, uh, APM is a client server APM support client server architecture. So we need some medium for communication between APM server and client. So basically, a session is behave like a medium for communication between client as well as server. When we cross the river, so we need a medium like a bridge. So that this thing like a bridge, a session is a medium for in between the connection between them. So now the question, how the APM client, how the client can create a session. So client can be create a session by sending the post call, basically which we send the response. It is based on post call, and this post call contain all the required information related to the device, which we test under the test in the form of JSON object, which also known as a desired capability, which contain basically all the information related to the device which we have for testing. Move to the next one. How we configure mobile device with APM. For running our test scripts on the target device, we ensure the following things. First of all, step by step, we explore that. First is USB bin mode. It is enabled, which is available under the advanced option, and sometimes it present in developer option under the developer option in the mobile setting. Second is ADB recognize the list of connected available devices to our machine at the point. Basically, ADB is we can from ADB is Android debugger bridge, which we need to download in our system for recognize the connected device from the system at the time we test. At the third, we have required uh, required to change JSON value or desired capability as per the device format we have. We also use Java client library and Selenium library in a POM file of Maven project to set up the APM framework environment for mobile application testing. So we use APM Java client library and Selenium library for that. We will explain why we use Selenium in APM later. So moving to the next one, we have a flow of testing. As the tester, we perform different things to make a more efficient testing. So I break a whole application, whole mobile application testing flow into 4 steps. Let's explore one by one. We have first one is basically we run the APM server and launch, and after when run the APM server, it stabilize 4723 port by default, and it is uh, and accept HTTP request from the client server. Then we move to the second step. Open and run the target device or emulator in our case with the help of Android Studio. We will explore how we open or start or launch the emulator later in a demo. Then we have third step. Run APM inspector for capturing the mobile elements, and write the statistics in the help of IDE IntelliJ. At the last, establish or set up the connection between target device and APM with the help of JSON wire. So basically, all the steps we perform during the testing in our uh, mobile application. So moving to the next one. So before starting, before moving to the most interesting part of the knowledge, which we need to set up the things to the in our system related to the APM, which are essential to the mobile application testing. So let's start and download one by one. Open first of all, we need to open the browser and type Android Studio and click on that and open the first link which we available on the left, and by clicking on that get a we get an Android Studio page on which we have a download Android Studio for based on our operating system. So for we have a 64-bit and download single only click on that, and we have a term and condition page. When we move down, we check out that and click on that. He start the download, and this is start the download. But for now we already download, so no need to download, and for saving the time we already downloaded. So we have another thing that we required in uh, performing the mobile application testing. We need to download. So first we open the new tab and type IntelliJ and click on that and open the first link which is available in the our menu. So basically it is available in two variant. One is ultimate and second is community. Basically ultimate is a paid version, and second is community is a open source. So we download community version on the on when we click on single click on download, it is start downloading. But for saving the time we also download already downloaded, so no need to download and again. So moving to the third one, required, we need to download APM server for continue our testing. So moving on, we click on next tab and search apm.io and click on that. After that, you get the official website of Appium, in which we get the button of download Appium. Basically, when we click on that, we get the Appium desktop version, and when we move down, you get the easy step for run a test now. So basically, when we open the terminal and continue this step, you get the terminal based Appium version. So it is not efficient. So according to, so as of now we use the APM desktop. So when we click on a download APM button, you get the APM GitHub repo in which there are multiple APM server present on the basis of their different operating system, like for Mac, Linux, and Windows for XE. So according to our system, we have a Linux base, so we need to download this, and with only single click it start downloading. But I already download, so I do not download again. And at the last, we need two more things. First one is Node.js, and last is Java JDK. So for downloading those of both of them, you need to open a terminal. And for downloading a Node.js, first we get that we already downloaded Node.js or not. So type node space hyphen and get enter. So you get the version of, if you install the version. If you not get install, if you not having a node, so simply type sudo app hyphen get install Node.js. Only after clicking on, when we click the enter, it start downloading the Node.js in our system. So I already having the version 12.22. So I do not enter, I already do not enter again and again. So basically we move to our next requirement, which is Java JDK. So as of now we need only Java JDK, and all the required things we cover. So for downloading the Java JDK, we simply type sudo apt apt install default hyphen JRE. When we enter the when we enter, then it also start downloading. So I already have the Java JDK version, so I do not need to download again and again. And basically all the things are now, all the required things are we have in our system. So close the terminal and move to the first one is open the Appium server and start launching it. So we have download Appium server here and Appium inspector here, and also download one application which is named as id.dana, which we need to install in our second task of demo. So first we run and launch the Appium on single click. That now the Appium desktop is so it is a Appium desktop version. Basically it use 4723 port. And before that, before starting the server, we need to add some Java JDK path, Java home or Android SDK home path here. So on click on edit configuration, we can done both the things here. Simply add the Android home path where we download Android SDK, and Java home path here where we download the Java. When we enter this detail in here and save, simply save and restart the server, and it is add the Java home and the Android home path in the our system. So basically I already add that, so no need to again do. So simply for starting server, we simply click on that. See, welcome to the Appium server. Server is running, and which version? It also show the version 1.2.2, which is the latest version as you see. And at the end, Appium REST HTTP interface listener started on 0.0.0 4723. So basically, it is a it running on that interface. We can So now we need one emulator, by which we can get the emulator with the help of Android Studio. So we need to open the Android Studio first and click on the three dots on the top, which are present on the top of, and click on that and move to the Virtual Device Manager section. The another tab is open as you see. Basically, we already set up a three device, but for as you need to create new device, so simply click on Create Device. In this tab you see there are many devices available, like Nexa pxl pxl 5, and move down to also get Nexa's one. So basically the name of device, on the basis of our requirement we choose pixel 5 or another one as you require. So click on next. Next tab, get the version. Basically you get which version, which continue testing according to which version of Android. So as we download S or R, which is based on 12.2 and 11.0. So if you need to if you need to use another one, so first you need to download one and then you can use it. So as we use S, which is Android 12.0. So after one click on that, next we can get the next page of the AVD, Android Virtual Device, and in which section we you also edit the name of the device as you according to your needs. So as of now, I do not need to change that. So basically on single click of this, our device is created. Pixel 5 API 3.2, and which Android version 12.2, and on the click on the we get the details of the below. API level 31 resolution and DPI and other properties also have. For now, we use and WX 4.7 WX GPA API. So for running the any one of them, we simply click on to launch the AVD emulator. We simply click on that button, and the device is
Rahul, I think you are on mute.
Okay, sorry. I repeat that part out. So basically, if we need a platform name, and like Android, and when we add the desired capability, it's JSON related JSON representation also here, for which we send to the APM server. So like we have first is platform name, which is Android. Then we have platform version used for related devices 11.0, and APM device name is 4.7 WXGA API 30, and it is all things are related to the APM server. But when we have last one is, this is not REST, it is reset. So these are APM. We have a fifth one, which is no reset. Basically, the use of this capabilities, the capability is to when we download the anything in the system. After the when we switch off the system, it reset the application. So basically, we done whatever the in the system before the testing. So it uh, remove the remove these things also. So to avoid this type of things, we need this type of design capability in the our design capability set. And the last we have UDID. Basically, it is a unique ID which is related to the Android millimeter, so or Android device. So for getting the UDID, you need to open a terminal and type ADB devices and click enter. So it gives the list of devices attached. Like we have at the time we have emulator 5554. So simply copy it on that and paste on that. So I already pasted, so no need to do again and again. So now that we have three things only, all setup of the testing for setting the session. So only we need to start the session. So when we click on the start session button, it creates a session between emulator device or emulator and Android emulator or emulator and APM. So we also get the logs here related to the when we create the session. It in APM server we get the logs. If everything is fine, then we give that this type of logs, and if we fail some problem, so it also give the bug or some other type of notes here. So as of now we get the proper connection between that, so we need does not need to that. But in this section, basically episodes, we can see the hierarchy of the application where we have. So when we click on that and click on so we get the basic ID, and when we expand all, see, this is a provide the XPath, and sometimes this provide the usability. So basically, APM inspector APM inspector having some advanced functionality, like for when we test native application, we need to switch this tab, and when we have a web application, we click on hybrid application mode. So this is the advanced functionality which we provide by the APM inspector, and it is also more. It also had to record the things, and also create a script in the automation scripts. Like we need to click on that, and when we tap on that, so its basic operation is performing on the in that way. And see, this is a related capture element, and we also get by the accessibility here, which is unique for that. And when accessibility is not working, we can also use XPath, is also available in here. So basically we can like we have one things, but we also perform some action, so we need to record. So please, and then click on that, and when we tap, the second element is also good, and you get all the cascades here. So basically use Java and the unit for the for this. We can save, delete, and share the scripts for record. Before we stop recording, we need to spend and delete that. And when we here is also a refresh button. The uh, purpose of the refresh button is like we have Android application, and we go at the window page, but they're not showing any updated one, so we need to refresh the page. After refreshing, it get the updated state. So that's all about the APM inspector. Now we performing second task. Basically, first task is complete, which is an set up the connection between the APM server and emulator. So this task is completed. Now we move to the second one is installing the APM, installing the APK file in emulator with the help of APM inspector or APM server. So let's start with that. So we already have set up this type of things. So demo with the application, click on Bangladesh application and go. So see, basically in this and previous one is all one thing is we have application. So we need to download, we need to install application. We need to do the full path where we download or having the application. Like in our case, we have id.dana and which is under the home folder and then document and then the last is APM thing. So to verify that we see and there is the application. When we go to the property, you get the full path with along with its name. So basically I already done, so no need to do again and again. Let's move to the another one. So basically in this task we simply download, simply install this application in the emulator. To verify this application is having in emulator or not, click on the menu and see there is no application with the name of id.dana. So click on that and see the APM server is running or not. If you, it is running, so on click on start session button, start the installing and related logs is see in the APM server. So basically as you see skin already unlocked and doing nothing and starting id.dana onboarding and do nothing and waiting for the id.dana and it is start which is present home slash noldas and dot and it is use emulator and log is changing with the basis of their activity. So to verify that the application install is not, so we move to the menu. See, this is the application which we need to install. So it is already installed by the help of. So this part, this is the second task which we done by the help of Android emulator and APM server. We only have a last one, which is a very important and moving towards. For this performing this task, we need some we need Android IntelliJ. So basically, we already set up a Maven project under this under use of Java. Under this, we have a test. Under the Java, under the test, we have two class. Basically, we have read.config and test font dialer. Basically, we test that font dialer application. Like we try to automate in this section. We automate this application. First, we like we describe. First is launch, then we click on descent, and then we click on make a call button. After that, we some give some input, and that after at the last we add some assertion here this portion. Basically, what we number is added by automated or which is equal or not. So this thing is performed in the section. So basically, moving towards and discuss about the code. So we have a POM file related to that in which we have download, we have added some dependency like we have first dependency related to the APM, which is having APM client. Also, this dependency are covering this dependency you can get from the Maven repository, and second one is dependency, Selenium dependency. Basically, we use Selenium in under the APM because, as you already know, Selenium use some driver like web driver and something. So we also use some driver in APM to run our script. So by the help of this, we need Selenium. And basically, Selenium is a root cause of APM. We have like a root of APM. So under this, we need some dependency of Selenium Java here at the at the and then move toward the we have third one is JUnit dependency. Basically, JUnit is used to for testing the behavior of methods under the class, and it also provides some advanced annotation for and advanced annotation for methods and provide some assertion also. So after that, we need basically we in this we integrate JUnit to the APM and last we have a dependency, uh, Apache POI. So basically in this with the help of Apache POI, we make the APM data driven, and in which we have give some input with the help of some Excel file. So basically under the resource we have a data driven .xlsv file, in which basically you see we have multiple things like we save a server which we run the server, and then we have some performing action like for as we use a mobile dialer, so we click on then type of the we have some like, and under the six we have in which we basically it is a phone number which we entered. So we in this section we assert the which number is entered is equal or not. So closing that and moving to the test phone dialer application. Basically under this we have three function. First is setup, then we have a dialer number and tear down. We also create a driver like Selenium, like but we name as Android driver, which is a global variable, and we have 18 line. We have read config Excel in which we get the data from the external source to make as a data driven. So this type of functionality we define in the next session of knowledge. Basically, we give the basically in this section we give the quick idea about and a quick start about the APM, how we start how we start the testing of our application. So moving to that and expand. Basically, this is a before test and after. It is a type due to the JUnit dependency we use, and it provides some action add extra functionality to our methods like for setup. So when we expand, we get some like we use a logger instead of printer, because when we run through the command line or terminal, printf loads some data. So on instead then we use logger.log, and we have some desired capability here like in the like in our previous APM inspector also we add some desired capability same as that. If you guys having some problem related to the desired capability, so move to the Noldas blog.noldas.com, and if you have one blog of
Rahul,
yes.
just a quick time check. It's already 2 minutes away.
Okay,
So please wrap up the session soon.
okay. So basically, this is a type of and under this test we have basically we have performed some action that we already declared describe that we have performed. First we have to call on descent, then press on call, press 8 and 2, and the step this basically it is a phone number we dial to try to dial, and at the last we have some assertion like we which we dial it is same as we expected or not. And at the tear down, but at the tear down function we have only two things. First we print that the test is complete, or at the last we have driver.quit. Basically all when we done this all perform test, so it quite the driver. So for running the system, for running this test case we need to run my test, and see now the it is running, and open the launcher. Okay, something is not happening. See, it is try to get some input from the external source, and see the test is passed. Basically we also run from the maven commands. For running the maven command, simply type mvn test and click enter. You see the same things, but in the mvn command you also get the assertion value of assertion. I fail, try to- now it is working. Basically in terminal mode we get the value of assertion which we have Like first we print them and the test case is passed, so we get the value. Like we expected value is 82765431189, and the actual value is same, so this test case is passed, all of that. So basically this is the task we have performed during the mobile testing. And if you guys having some problem related to the desired capability and all the things, we already uh, provide some blog in the our blog.knowledge.com. First one is problems in Appium during the installation. When we install the Appium, basically everyone get the problem. So under this blog, we get these things. And when you need to know about more about the desired capability, basically desired capability is changed according to the system. So please reach out to this blog. And if you guys need to get the information about the which you task perform at the last, so you need to go that one, automate and adaptation with the targeted frameworks. And this all code we which all code we have done at the last is available on the backup, but it is under the review section. So I think in the next month, in the next week, it is published, so you also get the all data about which we done in the set in this section. So that's all from my side. Any question? If you guys any having any question, so please ask.
Okay, guys, do you have any questions? Then feel free, please feel free to ask. Okay, Rahul, thanks for your time, and thanks for this
Okay.
insightful session. So we are looking forward from few more sessions from you. So thank you so much. Thanks for your time. Yeah. Thank you,
Thank you
everyone.
guys, and
Yeah.
thank you everyone. Thanks once again.